Good morning and welcome to Yoga for Everyday Athletes and Normal People too. And I got up and made coffee, which is always nice to have. We're going to start in a seated position. We're going to be doing a little bit of some seated work to get started and just to open up some movement. And then we're going to get into some sun salutations and then some crazy warrior, humble stuff. It's kind of fun, and I hope that you enjoy it. So we'll start seated and work on getting our breath into our bellies, which is an odd saying, our bellies. So please work on getting your breath into your belly. Start with breathing into your nose. And get a sense of in your body it's morning, we haven't been moving very much. What's feeling a little discomforting or a little bit uncomfortable, or maybe a little painful, but not really painful, but just like, that's a tweak right there. And try to get your breath into those spots. So just work on breathing in through your nose. And again, the idea of sitting is that it makes it a little bit easier to breathe into your belly, having a fairly straight back. All right, and on your next exhale, let's get your right hand onto your left knee, and we're just going to do some twists. So remember, we'll inhale and just do a little bit of a rotation, and exhale, turn. And it's like you're trying to rotate your shoulders more than anything. You don't want to try and do that just with your head, because it puts a lot of stress on your neck. Let's do one more. Good. Now let's go to the other side. Left hand on the right knee, right hand behind you. And again, we're going to inhale and rotate our shoulders. So my right shoulder's coming back, my left shoulder's coming forward. And then inhale and come back. Exhale and rotate. And then just go at your own pace, and you're just trying to very slowly just wake up your spine a little bit. Good. All right, now let's come back to center. And we are just going to do a seated forward fold, or seated fold, not really a forward fold. And keeping our legs where they are, we're just going to try to walk our fingers out. And when we inhale, bring them back, and exhale, walk them out. And you can feel this in a whole different bunch of places: lower back, in your hips, maybe in your inner thigh, maybe in your left pinky. I don't know. Let's do a few of these. And again, you're really trying to just let yourself fall forward and relax. You're not trying to pull yourself down. You're not trying to force anything. So get to that spot at the end and just exhale and just let yourself hang. All right, now here comes the magic thing. Switch legs. I know that was really hard. All right, here we go. Same thing. Just lean forward, walk your fingers out. So our sun salutations this morning will be the traditional ones where we're going to try and do that high to low plank. And if, again, that is too much, you can simply do a high plank and push back into our downward dog. You can try that by dropping your knees and then doing the high to low plank and then coming into the cobra and downward dog. It's kind of how you are able to function with that push-up kind of thing. That's the yoga push-up. It's hard, so don't worry about it if it's not something that you can manage today. All right, we're gonna roll around, come into a downward dog, and start our sun salutations. All right, so in our downward dog, our inhale is coming up on our tiptoes. Exhale, maybe dropping one heel down. Maybe inhaling and dropping the other heel down. Maybe it's just trying to drop your chest down a little bit farther. And let's walk our feet forward into a forward fold. Hold this just for a moment to open up your hips a little bit. And let's inhale into a half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, extended mountain all the way up, all the way back down. Inhale to a half lift. And then here's our high to low plank. High plank. And again, you can drop your knees if you want to do the push-up. Exhale into a cobra or upward facing dog, and then back into the exhale of a downward dog. So the exhale goes from your high, high to low plank. Inhale into your cobra or upward facing dog, and then exhale back to downward dog. That's the idea of the breath. All right, we'll inhale, walk our feet forward on the exhale. Inhale to half lift. Exhale, forward fold, all the way up, and all the way down. Forward fold, inhale to a half lift. Good. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale into the cobra or upward facing dog, and exhale back. So we use this time of downward dog to collect our breathing, just rest for a moment, sort of rest. This is a very active rest pose. And then we'll walk our feet forward into a half lift as an inhale. Exhale, forward fold, all the way up. This will be our last one. Down. Inhale to a half lift. Exhale, high to low plank. Inhale into the cobra or upward facing dog. And exhale back into our whatever this is, their downward dog. I just had a moment of brain fartedness. Yes, that is a state of mind. The moment of which you've had a brain fart. Good. All right, inhale, one leg up, bring it forward, your right leg, bring it forward, and then drop your back heel into a warrior one. I'm gonna come forward here. Now my right leg is forward. My back leg is my left. It is mostly straight. There's a little bit of an angle on my heel so that my foot is straight down. Try not to slip. These socks are very warm, but they're slippy. Maybe my feet inside of them. All right, so rotate your hips forward into a warrior one. Reach your hands up. Good. The inhale, you rotate your hips. Exhale a little bit more deeply into the pose. And then reach your hands up. If this is hard on your shoulders, if it's hard on your hands or your arms, you can always have your hands at your hips and rotate that way. Another modification for you, just continue to inhale and rotate your hips and your shoulders. In fact, if you rotate your shoulders, your hips will follow. Rotate your shoulders and your hips will follow. Yeah, sorry. Good. All right, now we're going to come into some of the things we haven't done before. All right, we'll come into our warrior one. Now we're going to keep our same hip position. We're going to drop our hands and come into a bound warrior. So our hands are now behind us like this. And that's going to pull our shoulders back. So the inhale is to relax our shoulder, relax our hip, and then rotate our shoulders and pull them down and look up. It's really hard to breathe into your, in and out through your nose, into your belly when you're opening up your front body as much as we are. Or do one more thing like this. All right, so now I'm going to pull back a little bit. So now with your torso, you're going to try to leave everything going forward, but we're going to do a humble warrior and bring our torsos down and lift up our arms up overhead. So there's a lot of work being done on your front leg. So try to get some of the weight on your back leg. Inhale up, exhale back. We won't spend much time here because this is really hard. Good. Now we're going to come up into a reverse warrior. So now bring your right hand up. I'm going to flip around. Right hand is up, left hand is back on my back thigh. So we're putting more pressure on my back side. And hopefully we're leaving a little bit of the stress on my right, because that just did a lot of work with the humble warrior and the. So remember, the inhale is to straighten your torso. The exhale is to reach back. And extend your arm. I'll do a few more of these. Good. Now, the last part of the sequence will be to drop into a side angle. So your knee is still open and you're dropping your hand, your right hand and your right elbow inside of your right knee, and then opening up your left arm as if you were trying to unhug a tree. So the inhale is to maybe lift your torso, maybe drop your left shoulder. Exhale, open all of that up. So we're doing a lot of work with our core, with our legs, with our hips. There's a lot of strength work in this today. All right, now rotate your hands back down to the mat. Bring your right foot back and we'll come into a downward dog. I am just going to deal with cold feet because I keep sliding in my socks. So you're in a downward dog. And now we're truly using this as a rest pose because that was a lot of work we just did. All right, now inhale, bring you up on your tiptoes. Exhale, sink your heels back and just feel the stretch in your calf muscles. Good. All right, now we're going to bring our left foot up, three-legged dog, going to drop it over a little bit, and then bring it forward. And we'll come into a warrior one on this side. Okay, so I'm going to flip around again. In fact, let's go forward. All right, so warrior one, hips rotating, shoulders rotating, left knee over my left ankle, arms up in the air. Okay, inhale, rotate your hips and shoulders. Exhale, rotate your shoulders back so they're facing forward. Even clasp your hands if you want to up. I'm just trying to sink your shoulders. The goal of this is that you're creating a lot of work, isometric stress, like just holding stress in your left hip and left thigh. And then on your right, you're opening up the psoas muscle, the muscle that's inside of your right hip, as well as opening up the right side of the rest of your hip as you rotate and kind of leave your leg there. So you're strengthening and opening at the same time. Plus you're strengthening your core because you've got to hold everything upright. And we're doing isometric strength work with your shoulders as well because you're holding them in the air. So this is really a great pose for overall strength, but particularly hip strength, hip and core. Like you might even be able to feel as you are holding this, squeezing your butt cheeks to try to hold your hips in place. And the goal of warrior is that your shoulders and hips are facing forward so that your hips are rotated. You know, mine are not that close, but that's the goal. And you're just going to keep rotating and moving. All right. So now we're going to come into the bound warrior. So we're going to bring our hands down. And again, we're going to clasp them behind us and work on that same positioning. But now we're going to pull our shoulders down as we look up. Again, you're inhaling and releasing the twist, exhaling and just trying to deepen a little bit. All right, now we're going to come into the humble warrior. So let's inhale, lean your torso forward, keep your base. Just try to lean as far forward as you can. Lift up your arms behind you as far as you can. The inhale is bringing your torso up. The exhale is bringing you down. Again, we're not going to spend much time here because this is a lot of work on your front thigh. Oh my goodness. One more. All right, now I'm gonna roll up into reverse warrior. Bring your left hand down, bring your right hand up. I'm sorry, right hand down, left hand up into the air. The inhale is to bring your torso, I'm gonna come sideways, to bring your torso upright. Breathe into your left side, and on the exhale, lean over to the right and reach up with your left hand. Just keep reaching up and opening up your left side body. Reach on your exhale. Good. We'll cartwheel our hands down to the mat. Bring your left foot back. Come back into a downward dog. Oh, that is some good work. Nice job getting through that. However you managed it. Notice I didn't say if you did it, just however you managed it. This is whatever you could do today. And maybe tomorrow you can manage it more, maybe manage it less. It just doesn't matter as long as you're getting into the pose as best you can and that it feels reasonably correct. Doesn't matter if it's done perfectly. That's why I am here showing you, because clearly I do not do it perfectly. And good. All right, let's drop our knees. Cross your legs and come back into a seated position. And let's bring our soles of our feet together in our butterfly pose. This is how we often end our classes. And in the butterfly pose, again, just lean up, rather reach up with your torso and lean forward then on the exhale. And have a little bit of coffee while we're doing this. It's cold enough out here in the garage studio that my coffee is pretty much cold. Still tastes good though. And you're just leaning forward on your exhales. Good. All right. Let's cross your feet again into the pose that you were in the beginning. Scan your body, see if it feels any differently. The hips definitely feel more open than they did. Let's get our breath down into our belly. Really work on breathing in through your nose, dragging it down into your belly. Let's get our hands at our sides. Inhale and lift them up into the air. Exhale, bring your hands together, down into heart center. Breathe into your belly. Thank you for joining us this morning in the garage studio. Namaste. All right. Have great days. If you want to know more about Simple Endurance Coaching, go to the website, www.simpleendurancecoaching.com. And you can read about our coaching program, strength training, and the yoga. All right. Take care. Have a good day. Bye.